listen to a story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
Here, boy. Show yourself, boy. Come on. Come on out, wherever you are. Where are you hiding?
Hey, Granny, what's she doing?
I'm looking for Jethro. I ain't seen him since he left Miss Jane last night for that concert.
Me neither. What's in the pan?
That's my hog jowls Melba. The smell of this has been known to bring that boy running from 100 yards. It don't seem to be working this morning.
Well, maybe Pa knows where Jethro is. He's upstairs trying on a shirt I made for him.
It's on, Ellie.
Can you believe that I made that all by myself?
Yeah. No.
Well, I did, except Cousin Bessie helped me with the detail work.
I really like my shirt, honey. Thank you.
Well, it looks a little snug, Pa. How does it feel?
Oh, I think it'll be okay. I won't be able to tell until the blood starts flowing again.
You better loosen the seams, Ellie. Your paw's eyeball on one side is bugging out a little.
What? I don't want to redo it. Bessie and me'll just run him up a whole new shirt.
Well, that ain't necessary.
Oh, it's no trouble. You won't believe it, but it only takes us 5 or 10 minutes.
Granny, are you wearing perfume this morning?
That's my hog jowls Melba. I put a little of the gravy behind my ears.
Ain't that kind of risky? Jethro smells it. He's liable to chomp first and ask questions later.
Maybe, but so far I ain't been able to draw him out with that whole pan full.
Well, don't get impatient. Be a few minutes before he smells it all the way downtown.
Downtown? He went downtown without doing his chores?
Yeah, something about being at the music store when it opened.
He'll get music. I'll treat his rear to a hot little rhythm with my hickory switch.
He's mighty excited. Left without eating his regular breakfast. Just gulped down about 20 boxes of cornflakes.
20 boxes of cornflakes is his regular breakfast.
Yeah, but he usually eats them in a bowl with milk.
May I come in?
Howdy, Miss Jane.
I'll be right back. I want to change.
Whatever happened to that shirt?
Ellie. Oh. Come on, we'll have some coffee.
Oh, I can't, Granny. I'm on my way to work. But I had to stop by and tell you about the concert I took Jethro to last night.
Nice, was it?
Granny, that Sebastian Stromboli is an absolute virtuoso.
I thought he was a fiddle player.
He's a concert violinist. And you should have seen Jethro's reaction to the music. I think I have finally discovered his true interest.
Where you been? You've seen him around food before.
I mean music. On the way home, all he could talk about was playing the violin like Sebastian Stromboli.
I'm for putting anything in his hands that takes the place of a knife and fork. Jed, put a robe over that nightgown.
This is the new shirt Ellie made me. Tried tucking it in, but there wasn't room in my britches.
He sure didn't inherit my talent. It's a good thing she got my looks.
So speaking of talent, I just stopped by to recommend that Jethro take violin lessons.
Say, that must have been what he was asking me when he was crunching his cornflakes this morning.
Well, I hope so. A familiarity with classical music can be most rewarding.
Yeah, them fellas that fiddled for the barn dance was always looked up to.
Granny, I was referring to the music of Brahms, Bach, Beethoven.
I never danced to that one, but it sounded like a real toe tapper.
Yes. But now, getting back to Jethro's violin lessons.
Sound like a dandy idea.
Well, wonderful. I'll try to find the very best violin teacher for him.
What about that goomer that you went to hear last night?
Granny, Sebastian Stromboli is one of the world's great violin players. He gets $10,000 just to appear for an hour.
That sounds a mite steep for a violin teacher, but we want the best, so you go get him.
Mr. Clampett, you'd understand. He wouldn't teach Jethro.
Something wrong with Jethro?
Other than what we already know about.
No, it's just that,
Well, then, why don't you just ask this Stromboli fella?
Yeah, it can't do any harm.
Worst he can say is, folks, I'd rather not.
I can't quite imagine Sebastian Stromboli saying that.
Can I? He'd probably be tickled to teach Jethro.
Mr. Clampett, you don't...
I'll tell you what, if he won't do it for $10,000 an hour, you keep upping the price till you break him down.
All right, but I'm afraid the only person who will break down will be Mr. Drysdale. Here we are, Chief. And please stop snarling.
That's not a snarl. It's a cry of pain. Do you know what it's going to cost to hire this bull pusher, Spumoni?
Stromboli, and don't worry, he's so far above giving violin lessons, he'll be insulted no matter what we offer.
You must be kidding.
There are some things money cannot buy.
If that's your idea of a joke, you picked a very bad time for it.
Oh, Maestro, thank you. That was beautiful. You made the violin come alive in your hand.
I just heard Stromboli play. The man's an absolute genius, unbelievable, fantastic, magnificent, and I'm overcome, without doubt. The greatest violinist of all time is Sebastian Stromboli.
I'd like to meet him. I'm Melvin Drysdale.
Oh, you are meeting him. I'm Sebastian Stromboli. No handshaking, please. One over-exuberant admirer, and the music of the gods would be still forever.
Maestro, it's such a thrill to meet you.
Yes, I know how you must feel.
Well, I'll come right to the point, Mrs. Stromboli. I want you to give beginning violin lessons to a young man I know.
My ears are still intoxicated with my music. They're playing tricks. You couldn't have said beginning violin lessons.
That's right. I'm offering $10,000.
My ears have been slapped in the face.
All right. 15,000.
You insult Stromboli.
Oh, no, Maestro.
20,000. That's my final offer.
So, you think for a paltry $20,000 you can hire the greatest violinist in all the world to teach some oaf beginning violin lessons?
Of course not, Maestro.
Well, you can.
What?
Yes, I may be a genius, funny looking, play the violin, but that doesn't make me a nut.
Jethro, that is a cello. You rested on the floor to play it.
On the floor?
That's what the point is for.
Oh, I was wondering about that thing. Every time I put it up underneath my chin to play, I speared my atoms out.
You realize it was too large to play that way?
This ain't bad. What's real work is holding up that overgrown fiddle yonder.
Jethro, that is a bass viol. You don't play that under your chin either.
I say you don't.
Why are you trying out all these other instruments? I thought you wanted to become another Sebastian Stromboli.
I do. But I figured if he can be such a hit playing that itty-bitty violin, I'll be twice as popular with the girls playing one that's bigger.
Good. I thought you enjoyed the music at the concert.
Oh, it was wonderful. Put me to sleep just like that. The best part was when I woke up.
At what part of the performance?
The end. When everybody was clapping. That's when these pretty girls come up and give old Stromboli a bouquet of roses and a big kiss.
You mean that's all you got out of the concert?
I didn't even get that. Stromboli did.
And I thought you had a serious interest in music.
I do. What a way to meet girls.
Oh, dear. And we are paying all that money so the great Sebastian Stromboli can teach you the violin.
Well, I sure hope he gets here soon. I want to learn how by supper, so I can have a concert in time to get me a date for the weekend.
You made a terrible mistake.
Don't worry, Miss Jane. If he ain't that good a teacher, there's one violin here that I'm already pretty good at playing.
There is?
Yeah. Puny little thing. It's got a real nice tone.
Howdy, I'm Jed Clampett.
Oh, I'm Stromboli.
Pleased to meet you.
No one has shaken Stromboli's hand in 20 years.
Oh, you poor man.
What have you done?
Well, just set your heart at rest. You found friend. Let me carry it.
No, I'll carry that. It contains my Stradivarius.
What would you fiddle?
The Stradivarius is a very old, handmade violin.
Oh, well, don't you worry. With what I'm paying you, you'll be able to buy a good one.
Where is Miss Hathaway? She was supposed to meet me here.
She's inside, but before you go, Granny wanted me to make sure that the first song you taught Jethro was Redneck Romance.
I play the music of only the immortal composers.
Well, then you ought to know this one. It was wrote by Stumpy Peckinpah. Remember? You just strummed the gitbox.
I've never heard of the song Stumpy Peckinpah or the Gitbox.
Oh, well, I'm sure Granny would settle for you teaching Jethro, you got a hog jowl where your heart ought to be.
To my great good fortune, I've never heard that one either.
Oh, sure you have. Why don't I hum it for you?
Please.
All right.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Clampett. I should like to speak to the maestro alone.
All right, but first I want you to meet Mr. Stromboli.
I am the maestro and we have man.
All right, I'll leave you. Take it easy with him. For some reason, he seems a mite fratchy.
Maestro, I think we must forget about your teaching Jethro the violin.
No, why?
Well, I have been talking to him, and his attitude towards music is all wrong.
Oh, that's bad. With me, attitude is very important.
I knew that once you heard, you would no longer want to honor your contract.
Oh, yes, attitude is very important. However, it's not so important as the money I get.
But you have never met anyone like Jethro.
I've met Mr. Clampett.
Oh, but Jethro is nothing like him.
Good.
I don't understand it. You are one of the world's greatest violinists.
The greatest.
You're willing to corrupt your art, squander your talent for mere money.
Oh, it's more than mere money. It is alimony payments. I have 6 ex-wives.
About the principle involved.
The only one I know is you miss a payment, you go to jail.
Ed, is the fiddle teacher here yet?
Yeah, he's out front, but we may have wasted our money.
What you mean?
Well, I asked him to teach Jethro Redneck Romance. He said he didn't know it.
You're greening me. Why, it's #1 back home.
And I told him you'd be just as happy if he'd learned the boy there's a hog jowl where your heart ought to be.
That was sweet of you, Jed. When my husband and me was courting, that was our song.
I know. Then this Sebastian Stromboli told me he'd never heard of that neither.
Huh?
I can understand a fella not keeping up with all the new hits.
But we're talking about there's a hog jowl where your heart ought to be.
I know. It's a standard.
That song's responsible for more weddings than the shotgun.
If he don't know Redneck or there's a hog jowl, I wonder what he plays at his concerts.
Can't be an all-request program.
Out front there now teaching Jethro. I wonder if he'd mind if we listened in.
Not if he don't know we're doing it.
Hey, I've heard that song before, but I can't figure out where. I know! That's the one you was playing at the beginning of the concert last night, right before I dozed off.
Let's go tuning up, you oaf.
Hey, that is a catchy little title. Hey, what are the words?
Jethro, there are no words.
And it'll never be a hit. You can't even whistle a melody.
And I thought crickets were bad.
Maestro, if you would rather...
No. Jethro, if you study very hard and practice a great deal, perhaps one day you will know enough violin to realize that you will never play as well as I.
Nobody can dance to it, Jed.
I hope that ain't the best he can do. He's making it up as he goes along.
Sounds like it, too.
Sure has got Miss Jane bamboozled. Look at her.
Well, at least Jethro's found a way to enjoy it. Kid, I have seen my fiddle-playing cousin Clarence pickled stiff, with one broke arm and holding a jug under the other, and still make better dancing music than that Stromboli goomer just did.
Beautiful. The only thing that kind of rhythm is good for is stomping the mud off your boots.
And wouldn't you know, the city folks is just dippy over him.
I'd sure like to get him next to someone who could learn him how to play the violin proper.
If he could just hear old Sidearm Jackson or Catgut Calloway or Fiddlin' Sam Dingle.
I'd settle for your cousin Clarence.
I bet you would. But he's back home just like the rest of them big-name entertainers.
There's somebody out here who can play barn dance fiddle. Mr. Flatt and Earl Scruggs ought to know.
Now, wait a minute. That Stromboli fella is supposed to be giving lessons, not taking them.
Granny, I can't turn my back on a man who needs help. Playing the violin is his livelihood. He can't go on fooling the public forever.
You mean the folks might rise up and demand something more than that made-up seesawing?
One of these days, he's going to have to play some real music.
I have to get back to the office now. Are you sure you'll be all right with Jethro?
What harm can he do while he's asleep? But don't tell me. I'll risk it anyway.
I hate to walk out on you.
Oh, I don't mind. You're the first woman to have done it who hasn't asked for alimony.
Hey, Mr. Stromboli.
Well, I see your eyes are open. Of course, with you, that's no guarantee that you're awake.
Well, sure I am. During that last part, I was playing possum.
Well, you stick with it, because I'm sure you're never going to learn to play the violin.
Oh, yes, I will. Got one right back here.
Be strong, Sebastian.
Don't worry. I won't tell nobody I seen you crying during that last number.
The music I was playing made me cry.
No need to. It was dreary, but it weren't that bad.
First thing we must do is learn the parts of the violin.
Okay. Say, how much you pay for that one, huh?
$50,000.
Wow! That's got to be the slicker in all time. I only paid $16 for mine. Yours ain't no bigger than it.
Stradivarius ignoramus.
Stradivarius ignoramus, huh? I wonder who made mine. Hey, I see a label in here. It says, made in Texas by Texans. Is this a Stradivarius ignoramus?
No, simpleton.
Oh. Well, let's see which one's got the best tone. You play your ignoramus, and I'll play my simpleton.
Anything would sound better than this conversation.
Mr. Stromboli,
Huh?
first you was crying, and now you shaking. Is something upsetting you?
Now, what would there be to upset me?
I don't know, but your hand's shivering like a cold dog.
Well, that's my vibrato.
Well, you ought to let Granny take a look at it. She can get rid of anything.
Did you get rid of you?
We'd like to talk to Mr. Stromboli alone.
I don't know if now's a good time. He seems a mighty peckish.
Are you Mr. Stromboli?
Whatever that is, I'm it.
How come?
Because I'm an artist.
I didn't know that. You'll have to show me your painting sometime.
Jethro, why don't you wait for us in the parlor?
Okay. Don't you worry, Mr. Stromboli. I'll be right back.
Just like radishes. Mr. Clampett, I can't teach him for any amount of money.
We was kind of expecting this. If you don't know the song...
He doesn't need a teacher, he needs a trainer.
Stop kicking yourself. Help is on the way.
And so am I. You could bring me Paganini, Heifetz, Chrysler, and Yehudi Menuhin, and I still couldn't teach that Jethro the world's great music.
No. If you're going to play Turkey in the Straw, play it right.
What's the matter, Jethro? You got an itch?
I'm practicing the violin, you dumb old lowbrow.
You better quit now. You'll never get to sound any better.
Oh, yeah? Mr. Stromboli thinks that I'm a genius.
I don't believe it.
He says that my talent is infinitesimal.
Wait. What's that I hear?
Either Jethro playing the violin or one of Ellie's cats with his tail caught in the screen door.
The piano. Never have I heard such exquisite playing. The hands on that keyboard are the hands of a god.
Come on, Bessie, you're going too fast for me.
I know she can outplay you.
Of course she can. Half the time she's using her feet, too.
No, stop the music. Where is this genius of the keyboard? Where is he?
But I'm a he. This is all girl.
Oh, no, this big ape trying to play the violin was bad enough, but now a monkey playing the piano.
It ain't that special. She can't read music.
But where is my cape? I must fly from this place.
It'd be a lot safer if you took a taxi.
Don't go. There'll be somebody here any minute to give you violin lessons. That's probably him now.
Dad, Granny.
We got your fiddler, Sam Dingle. There ain't no better.
He's played in the birthplace of the world's greatest music.
La Scala?
Nashville.
Now, that's the kind of music you're going to learn to play.
Ridiculous. You call that music? It's trash, rubbish.
Why, you ignorant musician!
Let me give you a little tip from one fiddle player to another. You might think my music is trash and rubbish, but I make $2 million a year playing it.
$2 million?
Well, you're going to have a lot better fiddle than the one you got. Something like this.
That's 10 times what I make.
Before you know it, you'll be able to afford some decent clothes like mine.
$2 million a year?
You bet your bones. How's that go again?
Granny, I do believe he's got promise.
It's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here?
This has been a Filmways presentation.